Do I dare to rank the episodes of Season 5? Yes, I do. Hello! Welcome back, my dear viewers and or subscribers. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my tiny little channel where I like to watch, react, and review a small collection of stuff related to science fiction, fantasy, and comic books. So in today's video, as I said in my intro, I am daring myself, or I've dared myself past tense, to actually attempt ranking the episodes from this very, very roller coaster ride of a season 5 of Supernatural. But before I get to my presentation of my ranking of these episodes, I do want to cover a few things, especially if you're new here. Please listen up and don't skip ahead. The first thing, which should be obvious, hopefully, but sometimes it happens, you can miss it in the title. There are spoilers in this video related to Season 5 of Supernatural, so please be advised, spoilers ahead. And the second thing you should be aware of, especially if you haven't seen any of my ranking videos before, is that it's a personal pet project that I do after watching a season of a show. So don't view it as some kind of in-depth analysis about, each episode, a full breakdown and all that. There are plenty of other channels I'm sure can do a much better job at doing that. This is just my personal thing. So if my ranking is completely off in your books, don't take it personally and just try to understand that what I'm trying to do with this ranking is express to you elements from an episode that I feel complements the obvious. So for example, episode 8, Changing Channels. Apparently it is the second highest rated episode of the entire Supernatural series out of 15 seasons, which just blew my mind. As an example, Changing Channels has very obvious stuff going on that would definitely appeal to a mass audience on many levels. However, when I do bring up that episode in my ranking, the element or the scene in question that I'm highlighting is what I feel complements the episode as a whole, that I took as a personal favorite moment or a personal moment that I really resonated with. So maybe keep that in mind just in case. You may presume I'll choose a certain episode to be at a certain part of my ranking based on how popular it is with fans, which is not really the case when it comes to my ranking. Now the necessary stuff has been covered. Let me now share with you my ranking of these episodes from Season 5 of Supernatural, starting with my pick at number 22. Episode 5, Fallen Idols. The most surprising scene was when Professor William Hale was brutally attacked by a living statue of Abraham Lincoln. Although the beginning of the episode had great shock value, seeing such an iconic historical figure commit murder was awkwardly peculiar to watch. At number 21, Episode 7, The Curious Case of Dean Winchester. The most hilarious scene was when Dean tells Sam that he's been cursed with the clap, which is officially known as gonorrhea. Although there were many old man Dean wisecracks in this episode, seeing Sam's reaction to such a cursed luck was genuinely entertaining to watch. At number 20, Episode 17, 99 Problems. The most unpredictable series of scenes was the reveal of Leah Gideon as the villainous whore of Babylon straight out of the Book of Revelations. Although it was expected that there were to be a variety of biblical characters in the show, seeing the portrayal of this symbolic female figure was interestingly engaging to watch. At number 19, Episode 3, Free to Be You and Me. The most appalling scene was when Sam was force-fed demon blood by a mob of angry hunter acquaintances. Although Sam righteously spat the demon blood in Tim's face, Seeing such a vicious violation of Sam's body was infuriatingly disturbing to watch. At number 18, Episode 15, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. The most memorable scene was when Sheriff Jody Mills and her team weren't surprised at all by Clay Thompson being a zombie. Although this episode has a good balance of humor, horror, and drama, seeing the local law enforcement behave so nonchalantly towards the dead rising in their town was frighteningly pleasing to watch. At number 17, Episode 1, Sympathy for the Devil. The most bothersome scene was when Bobby turned on Sam and disowned him. Although it's later revealed that Bobby was possessed by a demon, thank goodness, still, seeing Bobby react to Sam that way was awfully upsetting to watch. At number 16, Episode 12, Swap Meet. The most pitiful scene was when we find out Gary's plan to body swap with Sam was part of some elaborate scheme to be a bounty hunter for demons. Although there's no denying the comical moments in this Freaky Friday-inspired episode, seeing these innocent teenagers become corrupted into the dangerous world of witchcraft was pretty grim to watch. At number 15, Episode 11, Sam Interrupted. The most startling scene was when Dean finds out all along Dr. Erica Cartwright wasn't real, and instead a figment of his imagination. Although this revelation was fitting, considering the fact that one of the main themes of this episode is about mental instability, seeing this moment unfold was remarkably alarming to watch. At number 14, Episode 20, The Devil You Know. The most poignant scene was when Sam finds out his old friend Brady was possessed by a demon to spy on him while they were at college together. Although it's been mentioned that Azazel kept an eye on Sam all his life, seeing proof that he used people within Sam's social circle to keep him in check was honestly vexing to watch. At number 13, Episode 10, Abandon All Hope. The most unexpected scene was when Ellen helps Jo in her sacrifice by choosing to stay by her side and die with her. Although there was a bit of foreshadowing that at least one character was going to die in this episode, seeing Ellen leave the world of the living alongside Jo was heart-wrenchingly tragic to watch. At number 12, Episode 18, Point of No Return. The most suspenseful scene was when Sam and Dean explained to Bobby that the stranger Castiel pulled out of the earth was their younger half-brother Adam. Although I was on the edge of my seat hoping it would be their dad John that was resurrected, seeing Adam back from the dead was mind-blowingly intriguing to watch. At number 11, Episode 2, Good God, y'all. The most eyebrow-raising scene was when Sam shoved Dean in a sudden display of anger towards him. Although it's understandable Sam would be frustrated with Dean's lack of trust in him, seeing Sam become physically aggressive towards Dean was notably unsettling to watch. At number 10, Episode 6, I Believe the Children Are Our Future. The most amazing scene was when Jesse commanded his demon-possessed mom, Julia, to sit down and shut up. Although Jesse's abilities were on display in the wackiest ways ever, seeing Jesse easily overpower a demon at such a young age was unbelievably astonishing to watch. At number 9, Episode 4, The End. The most unforgettable scene was when a Lucifer-possessed Sam told Dean that no matter what happens, Sam will say yes, and Lucifer is destined to win. Although Season 4 confirmed Sam as being Lucifer's true vessel, seeing Lucifer's projection of absolute confidence was eerily gripping to watch. At number 8, Episode 21, 2 Minutes to Midnight. The most captivating scene was when the Death Horseman offered Dean a deal he'd be foolish to refuse. Although this episode made it clear that Death has a very unique personality and that he's powerful enough to reap even God Almighty himself, seeing him interact with a very humble Dean was rivetingly enjoyable to watch. At number 7, Episode 22, Swan Song. The most rewind-worthy scene was when Chuck suddenly disappeared out of his chair after finishing writing the chapter of events that occurred in this episode. Although the series has shown Chuck as a quirky, human-looking writer whom Castell confirmed as being one of God's prophets, seeing Chuck just vanish out of thin air, similar to how angels do, was indeed extremely mind-boggling. At number 6, Episode 14, My Bloody Valentine. The most exceptional scene was when Sam, drunk on demon blood, exorcised the demon souls from Famine's body, destroying the horsemen in the process. Although we've seen Sam use his exorcism ability multiple times beforehand, seeing this new level of power was chillingly fan-bloody-tastic to watch. At number 5, Episode 8, Changing Channels. The most thought-provoking scene was when Dean calls out the Archangel Gabriel, aka the Trickster, for being a coward when it comes to standing up to his brothers Michael and Lucifer. Although the reveal of the Trickster being an archangel was illuminating, to say the least, seeing Dean boldly point out Gabriel's weakness was wonderfully fascinating to watch. At number 4, Episode 16, Dark Side of the Moon. The most perplexing scene was when Joshua revealed to Sam and Dean that God was done helping out with mankind's problems, even with the upcoming apocalypse. Although I had high hopes for more answers about God's whereabouts, seeing Joshua confirm God's supposed retirement was certainly disheartening to watch. Alright, so we are down to my last 3 picks, my top 3 picks for Season 5, and if you've been paying attention, especially if you've watched my ranking for Season 4, you should likely have an idea which episode is at my number 1 spot. So without further ado, let's continue with my pick at number 3. Episode 9, The Real Ghostbusters. The most shocking scene was when Sam and Dean observed for themselves the players and the games involved at a supernatural convention. Although this series has shown many creative meta moments, seeing just a snippet of the supernatural fandom portrayed in an episode of television was profoundly awesome to watch. At number 2, Episode 19, Hammer of the Gods. The most enthralling scene was when Lucifer outsmarted his brother Gabriel and killed him. Although it seemed unavoidable that Gabriel would have to face off with his big bro Lucifer at some point, seeing Gabriel's anguish and, in turn, Lucifer's pain at having to put down his brother was truly heartbreaking. Now, here is the #1 episode of the 5th season of Supernatural that I would rewatch and rewatch without hesitation, which is Episode 13, The Song Remains the Same. The most compelling scene was when the Archangel Michael, while in possession of John Winchester's body, declared to Dean that his bloodline is divinely linked, going all the way back to the Bible's infamous brothers, Cain and Abel. Although there's so much setup for Michael's eventual arrival in the series, seeing him for the first time through John of all characters was satisfyingly exciting to watch. Pudding! Oh man, let me tell you, it was a challenge. Seriously, the biggest challenge I've ever had ranking episodes. You have no idea how many times I changed my mind. I even started recording, then stopped recording because I didn't like where I had placed a certain episode. Yeah, this was really, really tough. And I mean, I got 10 more seasons to go, so there's no point stopping for me. I'm going to rise to the challenge for every season. And then I'm even going to attempt to rank all 15 seasons, since some of you didn't mind doing that for me when you watched my reaction to episode 1 of the first season. So there you have it, people. That is my ranking of all 22 episodes of season 5. This season, I mean, the entire series so far, from seasons 1 to season 5, is truly a gem. A definite gem. I mean, although I haven't seen the other 10 seasons, I guess you can say that I'm naively confident that this series is going to continue to impress me on different levels, even though apparently behind the scenes there was a change up starting from season 6 down to season 15. So if you're committed to following along with me as I do my best to finish this entire series by next year, and considering the pace I'm going at right now, I likely might finish close to September 2022. Yeah, so I've got my work cut out for me, but it's going to be an enjoyable experience nonetheless. So overall, I hope you've enjoyed my ranking of these episodes, and of course, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. What would have been your top 3 or top 5 picks if you're so keen to share? And until my reaction to episode 1 of the 6th season, I'm Asha, tuning out. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.